Hallelujah. 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 All our voices together say hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Lord. Hallelujah. It is the highest praise. Bibles open to me to the Gospel of John. The Gospel of John, we'll begin reading at verse 1. Oh, John chapter 9. We'll begin reading at verse 1. We'll read through verse 11. Sister Sabrina jumped out of the woodwork, amen. Brought it back, amen. Brought it back. Amen. Matter of fact, y'all encourage Sister Sabrina. She celebrated her 10-year anniversary working at the city, amen. Y'all give it up for her, amen. John chapter 9. Shoot, singing got me tired. All right. As he passed by, he saw a man blind from birth. And his disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he would be born blind? Jesus answered, it was neither that this man sinned nor his parents, but it was so that the works of God might be displayed in him. We must work the works of him who sent me as long as it is day. Night is coming when no one can work. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he said this, he spat on the ground and made clay of spittle and applied the clay to his eyes and said to him, go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is translated sent. So he went away and washed and came back seeing. Therefore the neighbors and those who previously saw him as a beggar were saying, is this not the one who used to sit and beg? Others were saying, this is he. Still others were saying, no, but he is like him. He kept saying, I am the one. So they were saying to him, how then were your eyes opened? He answered, the man who is called Jesus, he made clay. He anointed my eyes. And he said to me, go to Siloam and wash. So I went away and I washed and I received sight. The Lord has blessed his word. For the next few moments, friends, I will share with you from the subject, even me. Even me. It doesn't feel good when you're left out. Going all the way back to when you were in school, when you had gym class and you found yourself being the last one chosen before the games of kickball, dodgeball, or the like. This does not feel good when we feel as if someone is passing over us. It doesn't feel good when we're at the middle school dance and you know that there are those who come together to dance in the middle of the floor and you're left by yourself wondering what is wrong with me, because if we are honest with ourselves, those thoughts can creep into our minds when things don't seem to be working out the way that we think they ought to be working out. What is wrong with me? And if you stay with those thoughts too long, it'll begin to affect you not just in your mind, but in your body and your spirit. That is why the scriptures say time and time again, make sure that you are renewing your mind by washing of the word. For if you do not, you will find yourself deep in despair of dejection, and you'll start questioning the self-esteem that yesterday was inside, and you'll say, what is wrong with me? Why hasn't my life changed the way some others' lives have changed? Why isn't my job blessing me the way somebody else's job is blessing me? Why does it seem that the breaks never come my way? Why does it always seem harder and harder instead of easier and easier? What is wrong with me? I've lived long enough to realize that this goes from the youngest to the oldest. I've seen it from the teens up to the 80s. Of folks left with these questions that keep on digging down in the core of our very being, and then we wake up one day and find ourselves like the blind man begging anybody, will you help me? It's dangerous when you go anywhere for help. Let me see if I can say that one more time so we don't miss that. It's dangerous when we go anywhere for help. Because, see, you might go in the wrong place looking for something, and guess what? Satan will accommodate you that you find exactly what it is you're looking for. And then we will turn around and say, I guess God gave it to me. But there's someone, the prince of the power of the air, and it tells you that you can't put everything out there because there's other folks listening. That's all right. Oh, I know it's the truth anyway. You go and you take a phone call, and if it's an important phone call, what do? You cover your ear. You move somewhere so you don't want everybody to know what is your business. You can't tell everybody what it is you want or what it is you need, because some folks will try to accommodate you with things that are no good for you. Even me. Oh, I know I'm not preaching from what I read. I'm not preaching about what I heard. I'm preaching about what I lived. Because real quick and real fast, you can begin to make the comparison game on your life. Why isn't my life like somebody else's life? Why isn't it working out the way I think it ought to work out? What is wrong with me? Maybe I'm just not working hard enough. Oh, I know I can't be the only one that has this work forever syndrome. It has served me well in my life, but sometimes it's no good for me. Because I've always thought that the answer to every one of my problems is maybe I'm just not working hard enough. Maybe I'm just not focused enough. Maybe I need to spend a few more hours doing this. Maybe I need to spend a few more hours reading or praying, when really the reality isn't that there's a problem. It's my satisfaction with my situation.
Yes. Amen.
The satisfaction with our situation. For Paul has said, whatever my situation is, I have learned to be content with that, because the Lord can't bless you with more until you're okay with what you got. Oh, I know the scriptures say time and time again, it says, you who are faithful with a few things, I'll make you a ruler over much. Some of us haven't learned how to tithe with $10. What makes us think God's going to give us 100? Because if you thought it was hard to give $1, it gets harder to give 10. Can you say amen? Oh, I know it's the truth anyhow. The more that shows up, and then you ask yourself, is there a cutoff for this time? Oh. I thought it was hard when I got my first job. 16 years old, you get your first check and you got FICA. You're trying to figure out who is FICA and why they keep taking so much money. And then you go and you cash your check and you think you're living. And then your mother says, well, have you tithed off that money? Well, Mama, I only got $300. You want me to give 30 to the Lord? He got enough. He don't need mine. If you thought it was something to tithe on 300, what is it when you tithing on 3,000? Say amen. That's why we teach the children. It is learned experience.
Yes.
Even me. The text, before we even open up, Jesus is on the run. Some of us haven't tithed because we gave Jay-Z and Beyonce all our money. I'm not knocking it. I might buy a title myself. But it's dangerous when we giving Jada money and then saying, God, I ain't got it. Can you say amen? Amen. If you can't say amen, say oh me. Jesus is on the run. For we know that next week we will be able to witness as Jesus comes into Jerusalem as they have the palms and they say, Hosanna, Hosanna, and we'll be able to see the week after that he'll go into the grave and they'll beat him, and then we'll see a few days after that on the first day of the week he got up out of the grave. But today we witness Jesus on the run. Because if you read at the close of chapter 8, you'll realize that some folks came to Jesus and they said, Jesus, just who do you think you are? Oh, you all know how to finish that. Who do you think you are? Mr. Big Stuff. I'm not going to let y'all off with that one. Who do you think you are? Mr. Big Stuff. There it is. That is what the Pharisees told Jesus. They said, who are you to talk about? You were around when Abraham was here. Surely you're not greater than Abraham. Because if you'll read in your text, Jesus had said, y'all talking to me about Abraham. Before Abraham was, I am. All right. Oh, and you know what it was when you were on the playground and somebody said something about your mama. Those is fighting words. That is the same way that it happened in the text. You got some nerve, Jesus talking about Abraham. Those are some fighting words. And the text closes as we get to chapter 9, and they picked up stones. For they wanted to stone him. Jesus is on the run. He's on the run because it was not yet his time to die. See, it's important to realize that we have autonomy and we have agency over ourselves. Don't ever let somebody get you to the point where you are acting out of your character or speeding up the plan that you had in your life. Because some folks will try to speed it up to the point that they want you to operate on their schedule. See, it's very important to realize at the close of chapter 8 in the Gospel of John that Jesus went away not because he was scared of dying, but because it was not yet his time to die. See, you'll recall Jesus said, I give my life freely. I lay it down. You don't take anything. Matter of fact, you think you're more important than you really are. Oh, Jesus. Jesus says, I will lay down my life, but it is not yet my time to lay down my life. So Jesus is on the run. As he's moving about, because he doesn't want to get hit with these stones, as he's moving about because it's not yet his time to die, he begins to move past the temple, and it says, as he passed by. As he passed by, he met somebody who was blind from birth. Now, the question that I've always had for John is, how do you know he's been blind since birth? Did you have some word about that? And I came to the conclusion after studying that he must have had some information on the back end that allowed him to inform him on the front end to tell us in the beginning this man was blind since birth. For the Gospel of John has the express purpose of showing the divinity of God. If you go through all of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, each one of them has a special portion or a special reason that they want to show you about Jesus. They want to show you the miracles of Jesus. They want to show you the humanity of Jesus. They want to show you the earthly nature of Jesus. John himself wants us to see the divinity of Jesus. That is why when you read the Gospel of John, almost every chapter you'll be able to witness a miracle that Jesus has done in someone's life. Jesus is on the run. He's on the run because they want to stone him with stones because he thought he was Mr. Big Stuff. He said, I am before your father Abraham. But in that moment, it says he passed by a man that's been blind since birth. I've always tried to understand this phenomena of coincidence. Is it a coincidence that various things have happened in our lives? Or does God have something to do with it? Trying to juxtapose the two in our lives can be dangerous, because it's like someone told me the other day, said, I couldn't believe it. I rode into Acme and there was a parking spot just for me. God gave me the parking spot. I said, I think God got other things to think about. And how far you got to walk to the dairy aisle. It's this fine line between coincidence and the will of God. Here in the text, I must believe that even though Jesus was on the run, he was not moving too fast to deal with the man who needed help. Oh, that's what happens time and time again. This past week, there were 3 funerals to deal with. And folks say to me, Pastor, I thank you for coming by the house, and I thank you for coming to pray with me. And it's funny to me because it's almost like they're dismissing me when they start talking like that. Pastor, you've been here long enough. It's time for you to go. But see, I've learned that if you go to someone's house and you're moving too fast and you get out too fast, then that person will realize that they weren't that important to you. You can't move too fast that we are blind to the folks that need our help. I can't be so involved with whether or not we're going to get the steeple done to deal with folks who find themselves on the edge of life. We can't move too fast that we don't see those who are in need. They are coming for Jesus' life, but he had the wherewithal to stay because there was someone who needed him. Yes. I tell you this, there's someone who needs you. And one of the problems is you don't think anybody needs you. It's the same concept that we talked of earlier, even me. Even you have a role to play in someone else's life. Even you have the power to pray for them when they are in need. Even you, with all of the difficulties, there is some special part of you that God has ordained in you to change the lives of someone sitting next to you. Even you. But sadly, we're moving too fast, preoccupied with our own situation. Well, you see in the text, there's a man who needs him, and there's some folks that are being petty. Turn to your neighbor and say, some folks are petty. Find somebody else. Let's say some folks are petty. Now let's make it plain one more time. Say some Christians are petty. Oh, it's easy to say some people because then we have this understanding it's just those outside. But I've been in church long enough to realize that there's some church folk that are petty. They mad about the things that ain't got no business being mad about, but they petty looking on the surface instead of seeing what's going on in people's lives. The disciples, the ones who in another book will be the apostles, they see this man who was blind. They see that Jesus' life is being threatened, and they so petty. Jesus, who sinned? Who sinned, Jesus? The parents or the man? Because I know there's some good reason why he's blind. Oh, I know it's the truth anyway. I know it's the truth anyway, because let's add some new examples to that same scenario. Who sinned? Because there's a reason why she got all them kids. Who sinned? Was it her or the parents? Who sinned, Jesus? Oh, I know there's a reason that they all smoked out. Who sinned, Jesus? Who sinned, Jesus? I know. There's a reason. Who sinned? Why are they all in jail all the time, Jesus? They did something, Jesus. And the underbelly of that is that I didn't do it, Jesus. It wasn't me. It was them. They did it. But sometimes in life we must be able to understand that these situations come up not because anybody did anything, but because God wants to work a miracle in your life. See, there's too many folks that have dumbed down and watered down
down. What is the worst type of Kool-Aid? The watered down Kool-Aid. Oh, I know it's the truth anyway. You want the good Kool-Aid, the one that you put enough sugar on the inside of it to make it taste good to you. What is the worst type? It's when we water down the power of God. As if God is like a man. God is God. See, folks miss it, Deaconess Rochester. God is God. See, the problem is we've made people gods. And we've taken the characteristics of people and assigned them to God. I'm so glad that my faith didn't go to the seminary to die. But it came to the seminary to be reinvigorated and remade, because here in the space, Jesus said, nobody sin. Quit being so petty. It's not about the man. It's not about his parents. He's blind because I'm planning to do something great in his life. Even me. Oh, see, some of us walking around and we got the same issues and the same illnesses and the same problems. And Jesus is saying, I wish you would understand that I'm about to work a miracle in your life. But see, when Jesus is getting ready to work miracles, you can't be scared about what he's about to do. But just find someone. Just say, don't be scared. Oh, I still remember it plain as day, Sister Linda Moore. I tell you, I remember it plain as day the first time I got this feeling of the Holy Spirit. I was scared out of my mind. I read the Bible and you pray, and that's all right, as long as nothing happens. Can you say amen? Amen. Oh yeah, you want folks to pray as long as nothing happens to you. Just happen the way I think it ought to happen. But the saying the first time, Brother Timothy, first time, I'll never forget it. My mouth started saying some words that I didn't know. And I shut my mouth. I tell you, it's the truth.
Tell it. Yes, Lord. I know it's coming.
It started coming out.
Tell it.
It started coming out.
Yes.
I looked around. I shut my mouth. I said, I'm not going to say it. But then I began to be all right with it a little while later. It happened maybe another month after that. And I was at the computer and I was working, and then all of a sudden, you know, I'm a pretty good typer. My fingers kept making the word Jesus. And then Jesus. And then I looked up at the page, and it was almost 2 pages later, 500 words on a page, 12 times New Roman, and it all said Jesus. And I was like, what is going on in my life? See, you can't be scared when God is ready to work a miracle to even you. God is ready to do some new things and some amazing things and some powerful things. And folks around you might not understand. They may be caught in their pettiness. What does the text say? The text says that he's blind because I am here to work a miracle in his life. It has nothing to do with whether or not he sinned or his parents sinned. I want him to be well, because when I work in his life, that will be a sign to other folks in their lives. That is why it's imperative, so important, that we let folks know when God is working in our lives. See, sometimes when God makes a way, or you have a testimony and you choose not to tell because you're embarrassed, what we are really doing is stealing the opportunity to be an example to someone else. See, they need to hear it just the same way you need to hear it. They need to know that it's not just a pastor who can get set free, but you can get set free. That God can still make a way out of no way for you. And when you tell somebody else that, that encourages them to keep on pushing, even me. You look at the world, and you look at the television, and you look at the radio, listen to the radio, and you read the newspaper, and you'll say to yourself, if you're honest with yourself, that the days are short on this earth. You'll see the things that we are seeing, and you'll see that some folks have been given over to a depraved mind. There are some who have been given over, that God has allowed to move over to the situations that they are in right now, and we are understanding that time will not always be.
Yes, yes.
time will not always be. Because remember, today is the tomorrow that you thought about yesterday. Remember when you said, I'll do it tomorrow? Today is the tomorrow from yesterday. We must be able to take advantage of the time that God has given us. That's one of the things when you are tasked with making sure that folks get buried right, you realize that this mortality is real. It doesn't matter how old you are. Time is running short. And so Jesus tells the disciples, quit being petty so much time, because there will come a time when no one can work. So while you have the ability, make sure that you are working for the Lord. Make sure that you're singing for the Lord. Make sure you're shouting for the Lord. Make sure you're preaching for the Lord. Make sure you're singing for the Lord, because there will come a time when no man can work. And I don't want you to get out of this, sister. There will come a time when no ladies can work either. So we must be willing to work while we have the time. Let me see if I can't speed this up, even me. Well, Jesus lets them know, I'm going to heal this man, and I'm going to heal this man, but you can't be scared when God's ready to work a miracle in your life, for even you. Because the man, the blind man, the reason why he's at the temple is because that's the only place he could get the money he needed. That is why you find him there begging, you hoping that folks have some semblance of God when they come out of church. That they'll feel bad for me and give me $1, give me a quarter. Why do you think the ones who make the most money are those that stand right at the gas station? They are hedging their lives and bets off of your change. I'm hoping that soda costs you $2.15 because you got 85 cents to give me. Oh, y'all knew that already. Oh, okay. I went to go get some ribs down at the White's out of West Philly. Man was sitting right out there. I thought he was going to ask for a rib. Y'all remember that? How much for one rib? But when I came out, I put my food on this side. Kind of hungry, brother. I love you though. But the brother didn't ask for one rib. He said, you got some change? And I almost said no. And I sure enough said, matter of fact, I do. Here's this 90 cents that I have. But you see in the text, the reason why he's at the temple is because he's hoping that folks will give him some money. And here Jesus is about to heal him. But first, you can't be scared about how God is going to work in your life. He says, what I want you to do is I want you to take this spit. I want you to circle it around with some dirt. And then I want you to put it on your eye. See, some of y'all are looking for a breakthrough, but when God brings the breakthrough, it don't look the way you think it ought to look. So you leave it right there on the ground. See, when God brings you something and he says, this is what I would have for you, it doesn't matter what you have planned in your mind, visions are fancy all around. The Lord said, what may look like dirt will be a blessing to you after. I'll tell you this story. This is public knowledge. I still remember what my mother said about my father. She said, I saw him out and I knew he was going to try and talk to me, and so this is what was going to happen. He was going to drive us home, and he was the youth pastor, and he waited till the end and to take my mom home, so she was the last one in the car. And he had the last one in the car, and then he hit her with the line that goes back for decades. You want to go to IHOP? So as my mom recounts to me the story of this young man who came from Mississippi, who at Harvard, and he's studying to be a pastor, and he's sitting there and she's looking in the car like, you want me to go to IHOP, huh? But she said, you know what, Al, I realized that these girls aren't too smart out here. I saw a diamond in the rough. See, he might have had high waters on, and his trunk might have been leaking, but I saw something on the other side, Al, that I was able to work with him. Because when they saw the high waters, I saw he was 6'2". And when they saw that his car was leaking, I saw he had green eyes. So I tell you this, what may look like dirt to somebody else is a blessing to you. deal. He said, learn how to seal the deal, sister. If you can't say amen. He spit on the ground and he put it on his eyes. And he said, go wash in the pool of Siloam. I've always wondered, why Jesus? Why I gotta go wash there? Why can't I wash here? Why are you sending me to this body of water? Well, the reality is we're at the close of the Feast of Tabernacles. There's one more day left. And during the Feast of Tabernacles, on the last day of the Feast of Tabernacles, the pool of Siloam was still thought to be blessed. That is why it's important to get baptized. And you get baptized in tap water, but there's something about being in the water during that time that changes the situation that you're in. And now you realize that you're in a blessed situation. Jesus says, take the mud on your eyes and go wash in the pool of Siloam, and even you can be healed. Yes, yes. Obedience is better than sacrifice. God has told some of us a long time ago, this is what I want you to do. But you've been dilly-dallying and twiddling your thumbs, and you wonder why it's not working out. God says, I'm waiting for you to get to the pool to wash off the dirt that I gave you. Because when the dirt comes off your eyes, you'll be able to see in a brand new way. When your breakthrough arrives. When your healing is here. When your unicorn comes. You got to make sure that you are willing to say what God has done for you. Because some folks won't believe that you're the same person. Notice what the text says, and I'm through. The text says, as this man is walking around, he's walking around and you see and he's walking and he can see. And there were some folks that said, is he the same guy? Is he the same guy? Is he the same guy? I thought you were blind. How is it that you can see? Well, let me tell you about it. There was a man named Jesus. He spit on the ground. He took the dirt. He put it on my eyes. He told me to wash in the pool of Siloam, and now I can see. I thought you were a drug addict. But let me make it plain. There was a man named Jesus. He called me from my situation. He told me that I can sit back here and that I can change my life. I thought you was always depressed. But let me tell you about it. There's a man named Jesus. He came to my situation. He changed my life, and now I got joy forevermore. I thought you were this. I thought you were that. I thought you were here. I thought you were there. But the testimony says time and time again that even me. He can take what was blind, and now you can see. Even me. He can take what was bad and turn it into something good. Even me. The best news, my brothers and my sisters, is that Jesus has time for you too. Remember how the text started. He was on the run. They wanted to stone him and kill him. But the text says that even though I was trying to look out for myself, there was someone that needed me more. It's good to know that Jesus will stop for you too. Even me. With all of the difficulties, with all of our shortcomings, Jesus will stop for you too. That's a good thing, because some days it's too heavy. But Jesus will stop for you too. You know, make a way that you didn't even know was possible. Now, it may look like dirt, but if you just lift it up and do what the Lord tells you to do with the dirt, the Lord will make a way out of no way. And your testimony will be the Lord is still a miracle worker. He's still a miracle worker. Life is dangerous when we stop believing in miracles, y'all.
When we believe that someone is too far gone, that's dangerous. That's why, Sister Lisa, when I go see about folks in difficult spots, and they say, Pastor, you probably shouldn't go out to that place. You probably ought not to spend too much time there. I always say to myself, would Jesus not go? And if Jesus would go, who am I not to? See, because fear will hold you. Fear will grip you up. Now, I'm not saying don't be dumb, right? But I'm telling you this. Something changes when you walk down the block and folks know that you got something going on. When you go to the hood and they push it, but you got your tie on and you walking like, where's Jerome at? Listen, I've gone to get the drug dealer to take him to school. I'm not telling you anything. See, I leave some of the good ministry to y'all, but when it gets dirty, I try to deal with it myself. I've done all that. I've held the wad of money when the folks say, I can't go with this wad of money, Pastor, will you hold it? And then they hand you $2,000 in ones and fives. You put it in an envelope, seal it tight, I don't want no problems. But if Jesus is willing to stop for them, he's willing to stop for you, y'all. Understand? If you've never received Jesus, I invite you to come. He'll stop for you the same way he stopped for the blind man. If you want a church to join, come on and join with us here. If this is the place that God has for you, I can promise you a few things. I promise you that we will love you. I promise you that we'll always use the Bible as what we believe. I promise you that we'll come see about you if you're sick. If you want someone to pray with you, I invite you to come. I'll invite you to come. The choir will sing, amen. Hey, matter of fact, I'll start it off. I started singing today, right? What is this? I was a wretch. Here it is, y'all. Come on, y'all, come on. Right, here it is. I was a wretch undone. Here it is. I was a wretch undone. Come on, y'all. Living in a world of sin. Had no, come on, give your hand to Brother Ralph if you want to come. Oh, come on. There it is. Somebody told. Come, there it is, give it up. But Jesus, he'll stop for even you. Gave his life and died for my sin.